late 1960s Zenith, mostly tube. I think this has got 4 or 5 transistors in it. This is a Space Command 300 color set. Space Command means remote control. Right there's the ultrasonic microphone. I actually don't care about remote sets. That doesn't increase the value to me because we're using converter boxes and satellite TV or whatever for signal for these. You don't really need to click to another channel because you get it on one channel and dialed in and you leave it there. But anyway, we might take a look at that. These sets, to me, these are some of my favorites. Of course, it's all metal, hand wired. I think this has a power transformer. All the controls are down here. Yeah, like I said, I would prefer that it not be a remote set. I like the kind of classic look of 2 knobs versus this push button garbage. But they're hard to find these days because they were easy to just carry out and put in the trash. This is the backup channel changer. I don't know where the fine tuning is. It's probably maybe this right here. Volume. Yeah, I mean, this to me is just annoying in this day and age. But let's see if we could get this to work. Got this at a TV shop recently. And I fixed up an RCA and I'd been using it, but I developed some weird color problems and I don't really like RCA sets that much. While I was digging through the garage, digging this out, I came across some classics here, some old C9 Christmas lights with the frosting on the color frosting on the inside. That's something not see you very often these. And I think these are all bad. And I came across this. This is a horizontal output tube. 6JS6, and I'd heard of this, but I don't ever believe I had seen this before, where the tube got so hot, red plated, and got so hot that it literally sucked itself in. That is impressive. This should be the horizontal output tube this set uses, either that or 6LB6. But yeah, that is, in fact, this was a Zenith tube. Amazing. That thing got hot. Anyway, I thought I'd show that. So let's get the back off, do a visual inspection. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Unfortunately, the IF is transistors. That's that thing right there, that box standing up. It looks like the CRT might have been replaced in this. It tested okay. So here's the channel lockouts right here. If you turn these, it skips over that channel. Should be a switch here that detects that. It should explain that here. This is the remote control assembly. I believe this right here is the volume. When you click the clicker, it's what it does. It just slaps this relay and steps it, so it's, you know, the volume is not continuous, it's stepped, almost like it's digital. And then I don't know what other adjustments it has. Maybe it's just volume and tuner. Unfortunately, well, there's the cover for the tuner down here. I'll have to see if I can get that back on. I don't know why people like to take those off and leave them off, but it's off. Original flyback. These seem to last forever. Maybe it's not original. Stand by. It looks like a Thordarson replacement, but if that's the case, whoever soldered it in there really knew what they were doing, because the soldering looks factory. Here's a look at the bottom, the hand-wired part. Some people would call this a thing of beauty. Some people would call this absolutely hideous. There's our dead spider. These look like these might have been replaced. 2.2 meg. Those do not look original. Of course, this was replaced. This is a very high failure rate on all color TVs. This is the degaussing thermistor, and this is the VDR. Boy, that right there, that could... Looks like they pulled them out of another set almost. Put used stuff in there. What happens is this one starts off at a high, when it's cold, the resistance is high. And the degaussing coil is in series. Actually, the degaussing coil is in parallel with this in series. So one side of this connects to this, the other side of this connects to the degaussing, then the other side of the degaussing connects to the other side of this. So when this is cold, there's a high voltage drop across it, and this conducts. As this warms up, the voltage drop drops, and this stops conducting. This is kind of like a primitive Zener diode in a way, but it's AC. Might check some of these capacitors while I'm here. Unfortunately, we got these. These suck. These generally do not suck, these dry electrolytics. These are mixed. Oh, I guess I stand corrected there. This one's open. Dead. This one is 10 microfarad 450 volt, and it's under 2 ohms. That's good. 3 microfarad 30 volts. This one's under an ohm. That's good. We got 2 electrolytic cans here. It's basically 7 terminals. I'm going to check them. We'll see what we get. Let's see. 1. It's pretty bad. 2. And this has not been reformed yet. Whatever. 3. That one's decent. How about this one? 4. Decent. 5. Decent. 6. Decent. Garbage. 7. Garbage. So, yeah, I mean, they got to be reformed before you test them, but this one here is definitely should be changed, I think. I don't... Oh yeah, 40 at 400. That sucker's dead. Oh. Okay, that one checks okay. That one checks okay. That one is kind of dead. Looks like it's a 67, 68. So we got one bad capacitor. These white ones are kind of unknown. They're usually in the vertical circuit, and they can cause jitters and weird stuff. Also, vertical output transformers are really known to be going out on Zenith TVs now. The primary will punch through an arc to the secondary. Zenith drives the convergence off of the vertical output transformer. And yeah, so they, and they're unobtainable parts. So we just have to kind of see. I think I'm just gonna, should I use a light bulb or should I just do it? I'm going to watch the plate current as I power this up. And I should take the time to mention that when this set is running, there are huge high voltage pulses on these wires, like 6,000 volts or something. And it's fairly high current compared to this going to the CRT. You touch that, it'll shock you like a spark plug wire on a modern car. I mean, it's going to hit you hard. But you touch this, or you get this anywhere where it can touch you, any of this stuff, it will burn you, and your skin will be smoking, and you will have a hole burned in you, and it won't smell good, and it will hurt like hell when it heals. So you see me do this, a word of caution. This is more lethal, in my opinion, and more damaging than this. This will just pop you. This will burn the hell out of you. So there's a 1/4 inch piece of plastic underneath this towel here. So everything is, insulated. Everything's away from everything. And also when you remove these on these old tubes, you got to be very careful because this one came loose. And if I would have just yanked it, I would have ruined the tube. And 6LB6, probably a $50 tube these days. Okay, here we go. We're just going to go with 200 watts. Let's see, on, off. Oh boy. Boy, did that hit bright. That almost hit like a dead short. You really always want to watch your cathode or plate current on your horizontal output, because that's where you can do something like this real quick. And yeah, this tube 6JE6 will drop right into 6LB6. It's just not, I'm sorry, 6JS6 will drop right into 6LB6. And there it goes. This should be no more than probably about 100 and 200 milliamps. It's coming up very slow. Where are those electrolytic cans? I guess they're back here behind this. I'm just gonna give this a few minutes to come up. I'm not gonna push this. I'm gonna go up to a 500 watt bulb here. I just like the idea of having some protection on this one. I don't know why, but I'd hate to blow something up. Oh crap. There the horizontal oscillator started. You saw the dip. That's a good sign. Man, this thing seems to be drawing a hell of a lot of current. little scratchy there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, there's light from the screen. Do we go into bypass? Bypassed. Oh yeah, look at that. Even with that open capacitor, it's a Zenith. It's either going to work or it's not. It's either going to just work or it's going to be like totally impossible to fix. Like thousands of hours to figure out what's wrong with it. And I guess the tuning doesn't work anyway. That's the... You see it make a difference in the picture, but the motor doesn't have the power to turn the tuner. Oh well. Yeah, this is the volume. Doesn't work very well. Probably needs to be cleaned. So we're right about 200 milliamps there. We do have a efficiency coil over here. The odor of burning dust. Unlike that RCA, you can tell this has a crispy, sharp picture. I mean, look at that. We got some lack of horizontal deflection here. That could be that bad capacitor. I was just reading comments on the Philco 17er video, and someone posted a comment. I don't really take these type of comments too seriously, but look at this guy. He says every set is junk. Well, I will say right now that this set is not junk. I mean, you might call it junk because of its age and condition, but these Zeniths were really not built to a price for the dime store market. These were expensive sets, and I will not call this junk. I'll say this is a good set. Anyway, here we go. Power that up there. I got the VG91 here. Let's dump a signal into this thing and see what happens. We're going in on channel 3, standard TV. Let's go up to about there. We are on Windows Circle. Comes our cathode current, plate current. High voltage just came up. See, I got to turn this back here, so... Ooh, there we go. Look at that, the damn convergence, and the convergence is a little bit off. I wonder if the fine-tuning works. Sometimes the fine-tuning gears on these things break. And it looks like that might be the case in this one. Okay, here's color bars, and there are none, of course. This is AFC. And of course, the fine-tuning not working, you can't... Maybe the fine-tuning is working. Come on, baby. We're... Oh. Barber pulling rainbow. Why is that so far off? Let me give it some more RF. There we go. I'm using clip leads for my signal, so this way you get this crap. A lot of smearing there. A lot of smearing, and I can't bring the green over to this side. So the color is no bueno. It looks like there's a lot of smearing in it too. And the green sucks. I'm going to try and adjust this down. And this is something that should be done when it's fully warmed up. And brought that down quite a bit. That also shrunk the hell out of the picture here, made it dimmer, but it stopped it from making that crackling. Maybe it is still doing that. There might be some arcing. I'm kind of running it here, letting the capacitors form up, and then I'm going to shut it off and let it sit, and we'll change that bad capacitor and see if it makes any difference. I think there's color demodulation issues here because there's literally only red and blue. This should be green right here, and I can't move the green. See, the green just wants to stay over there, the whatever you want, if you want to call that green, but I should be able to move the red over to here and bring the green over here. You want green over here. So there is an adjustment for that. I mean, yeah, but I'd rather not start twisting stuff. Let's see what we've got here with this powered up. Not much. Wonder what this is. Oh, there we go. Wonder what this is for. I wonder if there's any AC across it. 2.5 volts. That's not a lot. .247 volts. I wonder what that capacitor does. Since they're all right here, might as well give them a little squirt spritzer, right? Clean them out. Make sure they go sports team. 1970. And see, this is the set I'd really like to have right here. I like that look a lot better than this remote crap. That's just a personal opinion. Let me see if I can find that capacitor. Okay, that capacitor that's open is C9, or was open a minute ago. The set sure didn't act like it had any open capacitors. C2, C2, C2. Let me find it here. Okay, this is that capacitor right there. It goes from the screen, the horizontal output. What is even the point of this? What kind of weird ass? Well, it kind of connects to the voltage going to the horizontal efficiency coil and to the screen and to the B plus supply to the not this the vertical output. But this is Zenith. Zenith did stuff like this that was super intertwined and confusing. Let me take a look real quick at so where do we get our phase shift for the green? 6BV11 is our demodulator, and then 6MJ8 are our amps. So one of these will shift the tint. Let me read. It'll tell you here which one. You read the chroma bandpass AFC alignment, and it says right here the first and third bars and seventh and ninth bars should be equal. If not, readjust A24. Set the hue control for maximum clockwise at third and fourth. So A24 is what adjusts the centering of the color, the hue. So A24. Where is A24? A23, A24. That one right there. Before I start screwing with anything, I think I should change these electrolytics that are testing open. That one is definitely, so let me get that out of there. So how's this for a find? Tests good too, like 0 ohms ESR and about 45 microfarads. This is a 40 at 400. This is a 40 at 450. Okay, because the way this connects is not totally intuitive, I'm going to double check that. I'm powering it up right now. If I can get it in the hole here. There we go. So right now it's negative. I don't want that. Wait until the... Oh, there we go. There it goes positive when the tubes start conducting. Probably need to recheck the cathode current now and all the functions, because like I said, that connects to the cathode current, the plate horizontal efficiency coil. Yeah, this sucker's totally open. But hey, that's a period capacitor right there. That looks totally legit. Doesn't have a Zenith part number on it, but it's legit. Oh wow, that changing that capacitor looks like it fixed the color issue. Look at, we got green over here now. And we actually do have green. It's not good enough. It's not real good, but we need to shift it over some more. It didn't really get rid of the ringing too deep. That looks pretty clean. Actually, damn capacitor changed. That capacitor changed more than I would have. It changed something different than I would have expected. It also fixed the lack of deflection over here. So that capacitor fixed a lot of stuff. That's amazing. Yeah. I'm surprised. That almost brought it in. Except this staticky thing, that could be those white tubular capacitors. Let me tweak, and I'm not going to tweak it much, but what was it, A14? Okay, so this should be one that shifts where the tint is. So let's see. There we go. What we really want to do, and I think I screwed something else up here. I cracked that damn core in this thing by screwing with it too much. Yeah, crap. Let's see. Almost had it, and then I had to start screwing with it. Green is not real good on this set. Yeah, I really screwed up here. Once you crack these things, that's it. That's hosed. You're gonna just have to break it up and get it out and try and find something else. There's what's left of it. I think it was about a ½ an inch long. What a bummer, man. I think I got one here. Man, these things don't want to come out. Look at this one, the form is all misshapen. Crap, how long is this one? That one seems a bit longer. Okay, so that core affects the high voltage. I should have never touched that damn thing from the very beginning. That affects the high voltage and the deflection, which also on this set affects the centering of the tint or the hue, which is very weird. So now we have good centering. I should only really be able to do 2 greens. I could really take and move that a little bit more. I think we might have a bad tube because it just, all of a sudden it just shifted back to the way it was. I think I'm dealing with multiple problems here. Or is it bad connection? It might be a bad connection. Try tapping on the tubes. Yeah, tapping on this one right here. I don't think the camera is even catching what's going on. I wonder what that is. Okay, that is a 6GH8 color oscillator, but I think there's something else wrong here, because as it warms up, it starts to pull in on this side, and the convergence starts to get whacked. I think there's an issue, another issue with this thing. Well, I don't more than think. Well, this is a weird one. I'm going to have to come back to this one. I'm going to turn it off. Just going to let it sit for a while, and then let's look at the deflection when it's cool. I changed the 6GH8 too. See what happens here. This is going to be a tough one. See, look at how good the deflection is right now. There's the barber pulling rainbow. Come on, baby. Lock in. Give me some color bars. But as soon as it heats up, it starts pulling in and getting weird. So look at how jacked up the convergence is. I can't even get the color to lock in with this tube. Yeah, I put the other tube in and the color pops right in, but then it just... That 6GH8 has got to be bad. It's got to be. It's just all over the place. As it warms up, it must be shorting inside. Now look at the whole damn screen is green, and I can't control it. Look at that. Green coast to coast. What a trip. This thing's a trip. Now it's not pulling in over here. It's just all green. Now it's working. This thing is a trip. Maybe it just needs to be used. I wonder if this has bad diodes in the convergence. Look at the convergence up here. It's perfect. It's perfect over here. Over here, garbage. This is selenium. And there it goes. As it warms up, it's pulling in. It's a real trip. Yeah, it's very consistent. That pulls in. I think we need to address that first. It's very odd. I'm going to watch it here. So it's still expanding as it warms up, see? But then it'll just turn around and start shrinking. Okay, here it's starting to shrink. It's a very, very bizarre problem. See it shrinking? The other side doesn't look like it. And I think the cathode current's increasing while it's doing this. Look at it shrink. There it goes. Now it's on a roll. It's dropping like a rock. What a weird issue. It's very consistent too. All I have to do is turn it off for 2 or 3 minutes and it wakes back up for 5 minutes. Maybe it is shrinking on this side. Look at it go. Remember, when we restarted it, green was all the way inside here. You couldn't see it. Alright, it's the next day. I dug up all 4 tubes, the horizontal output. I could only find a used of the 6U10. It appears this has become a favorite of the guitar amp guys and is ridiculously expensive for a triple triode. That's a horizontal oscillator discharge tube, 6 GH8 for the color, and a 6 CL3 damper. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just plugged it in, and I know we got a convergence problem here, and I actually figured out how to pull that straight. Also looks like there's a little filter warble in there, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So we're watching our green line. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and repeat what happened yesterday, and then we'll try changing the tubes one at a time. Now these are issues that are really difficult to detect on a tube tester. It's much easier to just start substituting tubes on the TV, because a tube tester, obviously this is a thermal issue because it happens when it gets hot. A tube tester does not drive these tubes as hot as the set does. The set will get them much hotter. Drives a lot more current through them. And since we have about a 10-minute delay here, we're looking at an hour to diagnose this. So I'm going to let it warm up. Okay, it done shrunk up. We'll start with the, I didn't have a 6LB6, so we'll start with a JS6. I love that sound. You can kind of tell by how fast these tubes warm up the quality of them, and this one's kind of on the slow side. In fact, this sucker seems bad. I might have grabbed a bum 6JS6 here. Yeah, look at this. That's interesting. As a weak tube, that almost suggests right there that's what's wrong with it. Actually, looking at this one does look kind of roached. Kind of smoked. Here's another 6LB6. This one looks more baked than all of them. The getters are just melted away. Wonder if this is going to end up being the demise of a lot of these old sets that collectors have. Is that, look, this is, well, there the oscillator started. This one's coming up a lot quicker though. Not going to be able to get tubes because the CB linear crowd drove the price up through the sky high through the roof. But that 6LB6 is $50 for a used one. Okay, let's let it sit. Okay, that one's been running for quite some time, and it's the green line has not moved here. So yeah, it appears it was the horizontal output tube. Probably a little bit gassy, developed some grid emissions as it heated up. I'll let it run for a little while longer. Now I can pull these in, but then it shifts the whole thing. So your coils here correct the right side. And there was a whole thing that Doug Harlan did about if you turn these too far it causes something to smoke, and I don't work on these enough to really know the details on that. So I'll start by turning this one. That should be the blue yellow maybe. And I can move it further apart, and I can, well, there we go. See that? See, I pulled that in, but now I shifted the red. See how the red shifted? Okay. Now I'll go to the middle one here, and this should be the three colors. There it goes. See it coming in. But look at what I've done to my red across the whole screen. Shifted my red. Oh. Just Clerco twinkulated back. What the hell just happened there? What a trip. Huh. But now look at the bottom's jacked up. This thing's weird. Okay, I got the convergence about perfect. A lot of it is the pots are dirty. You just touch them and they wig out. So really probably what needs to happen is I need to clean all those pots. But I'm still letting it run here. I want to see what happens. It looks rock solid now. And the cathode plate current is, well, it's about the same. So it's a bad horizontal output tube. Check this out. This is the other 6JS6 I grabbed. I'm going to power it up. Watch what this does. I'm not going to go any further. I'll blow the fuse. That tube is internally shorting. So eventually it looks like this is going to get down to making adapter sockets and using different tubes that'll work, or the set goes in the trash. I'm writing notes on these. They're weak shorts. You know, I guess out of 4 of them, one good one is not too bad. I changed the 6GH8 and, well, I need to clean these controls here, but now we have good color and good color range. Except it's kind of going nuts here. I think it's just these pots are dirty. I think I need to clean these. This looks okay. It looks like the colors are bleeding into each other a little bit. Probably another bad tube, but I mean, it looks okay. I think it'll be very usable. Should we see if this thing works? This is a Space Command 500. This is a Space Command 300. I don't know what the difference is. Oh! So you click it and it shuts it off. It should control the volume. I don't know why it's not. But that's the channel higher. Oh. So that's trying to trigger the channel change motor, but I think it's frozen. It's got a shaded pole motor here. Let me see if I can break that free. But why? See, I think this is supposed to adjust the volume, but maybe it's... I think this thing is just dirty. Yeah, and that thing doesn't look like it's in the right spot either. something's not aligned right here because the little brushes are not touching in the right spot. That's okay, I don't care about that. I wonder if I can get this. It's a shaded pole motor. Here's the motor. And it is frozen absolutely solid. I mean, it's locked rotor. It is so frozen. A bark point cigarette rash. I wonder if I can get that apart. Interesting. So this thing is spring loaded. So when it engages, the magnetic field, besides turning the rotor, also pushes the rotor forward like a starter motor on a car. Let me try and lube this up. I was simply doing this for the entertainment value of the video, but now I'm starting to get interested in something that pops out and rotates. Check this out. The shaft is totally frozen to the bushing. Let me see what I have that I can loosen that up, because I don't want to. What is that little thing? I don't want to push this back and pop that bushing out of that little holder. I'll never get it back together. Usually on these shaded pole motors, there's a felt pad in that gap between that brass piece. You can see it's just not in there on either side. That's like a wick, and you're supposed to oil that, and that keeps the bushings oiled. Well, I guess Zenith didn't think this thing was high enough duty cycle to require any kind of oil storage. I put some 530 full synthetic on it. That's all I've got here right now. Now what should happen when I click the remote is this thing should squirt forward and start running. Let's see. So this is all way out of tune. I mean, and you can adjust there's tunable slugs in there to match the remote, but yeah, so volume controls channel and channel controls volume. It's a mismatch. All right, let's see if it works. Well, okay, you can stop now. I think the gear is bad. Great, now I got it running and I can't. Oh crap. Let go! Crap, now I got it engaged. The hell? The hell stuck. Okay, is this how you turn this thing off? Oh. That was not happy. Maybe it's better just to leave this alone. Nope. Still running. Okay, for one thing, what did I let the smoke out of? And how do I... Oh boy. Now I got the frickin' tuner jammed. Oh crap. Okay, this switch here, this switch got cocked, and I guess it's supposed to keep the motor running until it gets to the next channel. What I'm curious about is what's smoked. I'm done with the remote. I'm over it. So it looks like what's smoked is one of the tuner coils. Why? For no reason. I mean, I was pushing on that switch. Okay, so right now I need to just stop. We've seen the remote work. I got it working fairly well. And anything else I do with it is just risking screwing it up. So I need to just stop playing with it. And the convergence keeps shifting. So I'm going to let it just run for a little bit. Yeah, there comes a point where, you know, never worked for me. My keys never rang at 50 kilohertz or whatever. I even got new feet I'm gonna put on this thing. I like these Zenith TVs. These are pain in the ass, but they're good quality. They really were. Clean it up and put these feet on it. Look at that nice new feet, courtesy of China from Home Depot. Trying to clean this face of this CRT, and it has what I believe is paint overspray on it. It's like latex paint mist. And I tried a bunch of different stuff, WD-40, brake cleaner. Nothing does it, so I'm using WD-40 as a lube and a razor blade right now. So let me clean this. I got to be careful. Yeah, there's a little bit of blanking right now, and the screen's a little noisy. I hope I didn't damage that tuner when the coil smoked a little bit. But this thing has beautiful greens, beautiful color. Really good color. I need to get it where we can lock onto it.
Oh, like these? And you?
Well, you can see it's got beautiful greens, really good color.
There's just no ball that's better.
But unfortunately, I believe I damaged that balun when we saw the smoke. Because if I hook the appropriate adapter, 75 300 ohm adapter up, it's just static, and you can see the picture's noisy right now, and that's with a converter box. It's a great picture, it's just noisy. I'm gonna have to take the tuner out. Yeah, if I use this thing, it's unwatchable. So, and that works on other TVs. So, unfortunately, some coil went open when that smoke came out, which I still don't understand how that happened. Because all that's isolated by capacitors.
I'm Jerika Duncan. Fears of a full Russian invasion of Ukraine and Queen Elizabeth II marks an historic milestone on tonight's CBS Weekend News.
You can see a great picture. Look at the green. It's too green for the camera anyway. This is going to get a flag.
Hold on a second. With your gift of $19 a month, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you. And
just to give you an idea of how clean the picture is. Sharp. Unlike that RCA, this picture is sharp. Beautiful picture.
I think that's about it, buddy. Good job.
My pleasure, Captain. Please come.
A lot of fun. Each traditional exercise that you do on PowerFit Elite can help. Timing looked okay.
Oh yeah, this will get a copyright flag right away.
Yeah,
Come on in.
I have good news for you.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I talked to Lenny Barrick, and he has agreed to buy that big buffalo off of you.
Full-fledged invasion. I just hope my SDR, my legit SDR radio gets here before that happens.
And scream with joy again.
I mean, really, for a TV that's probably
Every 3 seconds. Could it happen to you?
60% tube. Let's see, the IF strip is not tube. The color demod is. The color demod, the sound, all the deflection, the tuner. You know, you look at this picture, it's like,
Help protect what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Call right now.
This is my phone. It's also my new bank. Go to Bank, the ultimate app that makes banking.
well, what's weird now, I'm maxed out on the 10th the other way. I'm too green, so
Times the national average on my savings. It's mobile banking at its best.
I actually really need to get in there and turn that slug the other way.
Uncovering mysteries. June's Journey is the hidden object game where a sharp eye is your tool to spotting clues and exposing the truth. So put your skills to the test, investigate scandalous crimes, and get to the bottom of
Look at that
every
picture.
case. Sometimes a good detective uses unconventional methods, but they always
No buzz.
expose the truth. There's a detective in all of us. June's Journey. Download now for free.
Student loan payments are a nightmare. Refinancing can feel even scarier. Splash Financial is your one-stop shop for finding low student loan rates. Lowering your student loan payments could be a few clicks away. Check your rate today at splashfinancial.com/refi.
Super excited to open up my diploma from Southern New
This
York.
absolutely smokes that RCA mural TV. If you follow my channel in a previous video, probably back 3 or 4 weeks ago, I picked up a RCA hotel set with a low voltage focus CRT. And although the color's fair, it can't, the sharpness just can't touch this.
Visit snhu.edu. How are you with bad jokes?
With bad jokes? You mean like dad jokes?
Yeah.
I got plenty.
Look, I know it's not a
A little noisy there. Yeah, I gotta pull the tuner out.
Take a pleasure in this. That's a chicken. Right now. Hunt them as prey. Over the dozen.
You know, it's not the food that's important at Thanksgiving.
That's actually in an old school 4x3. See that? It's full screen.
We did it by sticking together. And the fact remains.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm going to turn it off. These always make good colors when you turn them off. And maybe in the future sometime, if it annoys me, we'll pull it out and take the tuner out and tear that ballon apart. The input into the tuner. These sets always do that. I'm sure this is heavy on the copyright tip, we'll have to see, but it's always interesting to watch the advertising with this stuff. You know, it's all about advertising, right? And it's just, to me, it's always interesting. I have no interest in whatever they're going to do, drive around in circles for 4 or 5 hours or whatever they do. And I get that it tests the whole team mechanically and the whole engineering thing. I get all that, but the advertising part of it is just always very interesting to me. I want to continue on with this and see if I can fix the damage I inflicted upon it with my stupidity. You know, I made a mistake where that switch right there is broken off, and I stuck a metal screwdriver in there, and it slipped off and went down in and shorted between one of the contacts and the chassis of the set. And because I had the VG91 hooked up, it basically made it a hot chassis set and burned one of the windings on one of the ballons. Now what I mean by ballons are the antenna terminals go in and they connect to this little filter matching setup. And you can see how these two little transformers right here go to ground. So most likely I blew one of those out. You know, it's real easy to make mistakes, and I should have been using either a plastic or a fiberglass thing to poke and prod in the set. And the metal one was just there, and it was convenient. And, you know, the neat thing about video is and repair videos, I don't need to show my mistakes and my stupidity. It's real easy just to edit this stuff out and, you know, correct your mistake and then start the camera back up and, you know, make yourself look like you're all professional and a badass. Well, I don't do that. That's not the real world when it comes to this stuff. I mean, we make mistakes. There's no market for working on these things all day, every day. So this is a hobby, and you tend not to be professional when you're doing stuff as a hobby. So we're going to roll with this. I'm going to pull the tuner out, and we're going to see if we can find the damage and hopefully fix it. Actually, I think I might have got lucky. It looks like the wire is burned off right there. See it? It's hard to light this, but you can see so that's the Ballon transformer, and then up here, and this is what usually gets damaged by lightning. Up here are those filters, probably to keep your neighbor's CB radio from making your TV go 10-4, So what we need to do is reattach that wire. Boy, that would be nice if that's all that was wrong with it, 14. And so I basically checked to make sure this thing was good, and it is. Now earlier in the video I stated that I thought that green coil was burnt. That coil right there that's kind of, well, the reason why they split those in half is to tune them. That one right there. That's how you dial it in, but it is not burnt. It's just got a dark green enamel on it. So I think I lucked out. I think we're good here. I think. Like totally. Okay, I'm hooked to the converter box, and I'm gonna recenter out because I got the tint all the way one way. So I'm gonna adjust that coil and get my hue centering back in the middle. Boy, here we got the high IQ channel.
Or if they drive near SoFi between today and Sunday night. The closures underway through tonight include Yukon Avenue from Century Boulevard to Stadium Drive from South Dome.
Boy, that sure cleaned that picture up. Wow, look at that picture.
Several lane closures on Prairie Avenue from Victory to Touchdown Drive. And then come Sunday morning, even more road closures are set for Prairie Avenue from...
Need to adjust the focus. It got a little soft on me. Let me do that. I got it sharpened up, but the
And a cup of coffee a day.
red convergence is way off now.
15,000 qualified technicians can be on their way.
Anyway, if you made it this deep into the video, you're one of about 3 to 5% who actually watch the whole video. It seems like the majority of people these days just watch the first couple minutes so that they can make a comment and drop their name out there. I hate that, but unfortunately that's the way it is. Or they just look at the thumbnail and make a comment. And you can look through the comments and you can tell who watched the first 20 seconds to a minute, and yeah, the damn red convergence is way off. But yeah, you can tell who did that. I'll fix the convergence.
From trading stock.
But man, the picture's rock solid now with no noise. It's the frickin' convergence. See if we can get something with green here.
And a lot of it comes from the delivery for this January, February.
The other team star halfback twisted his ankle on the first play.
Susan Ray.
All right.
Resetting your body. If you need a little pick-me-up, it reestablishes healthy.
Don't we have like an all golf channel?
It sucked. I miss.
That's just incredible. I remember that. It was kind of felt so funny.
God, the audio is so
all my
clipped.
life.
Perfect way to start or end.
Thanks for the correction.
Yeah, this one has 8 sub-channels.
Scared to death. You sure did.
Oh, there's green.
Taking care of
Okay, green, the color's working good.
That in and of itself.
We got into formation, started across the channel. That's when we pick up the fighter escort.
Wonderful.
Your Honor,
And you have not enough self-respect for yourself.
Yeah,
and
baby,
for him. This is not a joke. For yourself and him to use the mouth that God gave you and
The
say,
very
"You know what?
best.
I don't love you."
The very
You
best
let
America
him
has to
get
offer.
attention.
Getting ready to go out
You
and
let him
vote.
get attention.
She's getting ready to go out and vote for your next representative.
I'm done with
Also get.
Tourists were the victims of a vicious robbery and shooting near Venice Beach. Police say a man in his 20s and his girlfriend were walking near.
Yeah, that convergence is horrible. Anyway, there it is. It's ready to go.
Of nature and waves.
I just need to do something with that
Julie.
red convergence. Probably one of those damn pots.
And it was covered.
Endurance Auto Protection Plans have been
People online to become healthcare professionals for over a decade and on campus for over 27
Beautiful
years.
picture, totally usable in today, modern today.
SafeLight is the one I trust. They focus on safety, so I can focus on this view.
Good for you.
Our kids to protect them against COVID-19. Vaccines have been proven safe and effective for children 5 and up. Talk to your child's doctor.
Really?
Visit myturn.ca.gov
Really?
to find a vaccine near you.
Really?
You've been denied a home loan or refinance because you're.
Or is it that the law requires them to get it approved for kids or they don't get liability protection? Which one is it?